Hello, welcome back. Today I'm so excited to talk with you about the new Moonshine Manny Fall Halloween collection that's launching on Friday the 13th of September. This year I inspired the fall/Halloween collection after the board game and movie Clue, which is spooky. If you've never seen the movie, it's a classic. Has Tim Curry in it and a lot of other great actors, and I've been planning this collection for a little while and I'm super excited about it. I used to play this game all the time when I was a kid. Well, we still play it once in a while now, and I've seen the movie 100 times. Anyway, it's a really fun little whodunit based off of the board game. So you have your 6 main characters. Those characters are each inspirations for one of these polishes today. We have a 7th bonus polish inspired by Mr. Boddy, who's not actually a character you can play with in the board game, but he's important to the film. And then I have an 8th polish I'm going to be sharing with you today. That's the beginning of my Project Dupe It series, where I'm going to be giving you a dupe or something very similar to popular mainstream polishes that are no longer easily available. So we'll talk about that at the end. So let's go ahead and get into this collection. It's called Get a Clue. There are 6 main polishes, and then Mr. Boddy is the extra polish. For the first 48 hours after the launch of this collection on September 13th, we always launch at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you purchase the full 6-piece collection, you get Mr. Boddy for free because he's kind of like the little bonus character. If you would like to just purchase him separately, he is certainly available as well, but if you want to get him as a bonus, that is for the first 48 hours of the full collection purchase. So we have Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White, Mr. Green, Mrs. Peacock, and then we also have Professor Plum, and then I will be swatching Mr. Boddy, and then Roses are red, Zombies are green, which is my response to the overwhelming request over the years from you to have me make a dupe for Zombie Zest from Trying to Glaze. So since it's Halloween time, I figured this was a good time to come out with this polish. So that's the order we're going to go in today. Let's go ahead and start swatching. We're going to be starting with the mustard shade for Colonel Mustard, so I'm wearing my mustard top in celebration for this mustard shade. This kind of color just feels so fall to me, so I've been hanging on to it for a little bit for this collection. So Colonel Mustard is kind of a crelly-ish mustard because I wanted to add a lot of chameleon flakies and aurora shimmer that gives you this shifty quality. So because they're chameleon flakies and they're in a very beautiful, strong pigmented mustard, it's just kind of giving you this ghostly essence through the polish. It's not screaming out its shifty shimmer. So I'm going to swatch this for you at 2 coats. I'm going to be swatching everything on my natural nails today, and then the same number of coats you see me swatch it, that's how many I'm going to show in my swatch photo as well. Alright, so Colonel Mustard I describe as a mustard crelly glowing with red to green shifting shimmer and red to gold to green chameleon flakies. Next up we have Miss Scarlet, and my take on Miss Scarlet for this collection is this kind of dusty subdued rose crelly. And again, I wanted to add a lot of flakies in here. I've added multi-chrome flakies and chameleon flakies. My description reads brick rose crelly filled with red to gold to green and violet to red to purple to orange chameleon flakies and red to copper to gold multi-chrome flakies. So there's a lot of flakies in here, you guys. I made this acrylic so you could really let those flakies pull through. And while this isn't necessarily a scarlet shade, this was the kind of color I was feeling for fall this year. It's a brick rose because it does have a little bit of warmth in there, but it's still very soft and just packed with flakies. So I'm going to show you 3 coats on this one today, and I'll finish off with top coat for my photos and give you a macro shot of it as well. This one is Miss Scarlet. Next up we have Mr. Green, and he is a multi-cream. So my multi-creams are variations of a cream with multi-chrome pigment added in. And if you want to go really heavy with the multi-chrome pigment, it turns into more of a multi-chrome. If you go on the lighter side, it just gives like a soft dusting of multi-chrome twinkle through the polish. And that's kind of the realm that we're in here because I really wanted this lovely soft green shade to be the focal point and then have the multi-chrome pigment be like your hidden surprise. So Mr. Green is described as a subdued olive green multi-cream with pink to gold to green multi-chrome shimmer. This switches opacity in 2 coats, and I will of course finish off with top coat. I really like this shade. This is another one that I've been hanging on to for a little bit for fall. I was excited to come out with this kind of dusty olive shade and to add a little twist into it. So this one is Mr. Green, and he makes a really great base for any kind of topper situation, which I will explain towards the end of the video. Next up we have Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. Peacock is this really beautiful bright blue shade, again filled with flakies. We have multichrome and chameleon flakies. I also added delicate micro hollow flakies in here as well, so you'll get this holographic twinkle when you go outside. Mrs. Peacock is described as a cerulean blue filled with red to gold to green chameleon flakies that they kind of give you this green glow most of the time, and I think that is really fun, especially against the blue base. Red to bronze to copper multichrome flakes, micro hollow flakes, and blue to green shifting shimmer. So the base is kind of blue to green shifty as well. It kind of aids that green glow from the chameleon flaky. This one, I think you're only really going to need 2 coats on this one. This one has a little bit more opaque of a formula. All the characters in the game slash film are kind of zany, but I think Mrs. Peacock is the most zany. So this one has a lot going on, and it's a really fun, colorful character in a polish. Next up we have Mrs. White. Mrs. White is my kind of bone off-white shade. It's packed with shifty shimmer and chameleon flakies and iridescent glitters in a bunch of different sizes. When I made this polish, I wanted to kind of evoke the look of lace. So lace has, you know, all these little eyelets and, you know, different shapes made up of the lace pattern. And that's how I wanted this to kind of look on the nail, because the flakies and the glitters would create little shapes in the white base. And because they are iridescent in nature, they're just giving kind of like the ghost appearance of lace. At least that's how it looks like to me. We're gonna build it up in 3 coats for opacity. Like I said, I added a lot of shimmer, and it does have kind of an off-white color. It's not just a straight up white shade. And most of the colors you're gonna be seeing are the red to green, because that's the shift that's in all of the iridescent glitters in here and the matching chameleon flakies that I added. But the base also has a rainbow of shifty shimmers that add to this really complex bone coloration. Next up we have Professor Plum, and this is a purple to green shifting polish. This is a sister polish to last year's Halloween polish called Mavis. That was a glitter topper. It has black hollow glitters, like a whole variety of them, and it had a red to green shifting shimmer. This one has the same black hollow glitters plus the addition of some square glitters and a few other things, and it has this very strong fuchsia purple blue green shift. It's really, really fun, you guys. You can wear this in a few ways. You could wear it as a topper, but you can also totally build this up on its own, I feel. It does give you a kind of like not completely opaque look on the nail at 3 coats, but there's so much shimmer and glitters in here, it's covering your nail in color. Whether you see a little bit of your nail poking out or not, it's still kind of covered in a shifty flash. So it depends on if you like that look or not. I kind of really like it. It's one of my faves. It's like wearing naked nails, but not, because you have a lot of color and glitter on top. So yes, Professor Plum is super versatile, and you could top it over any of the polishes in the collection or wear it on its own. And that is the final polish in the main 6-piece collection that will be listed on the website together. All of these polishes today are $12 on the website. If you want to get the collection as a whole, it is $64. So that gives you a little bit over a 10% savings there on the collection. And then don't forget, you're going to get Mr. Boddy for free if you order in the first 48 hours. So here's Mr. Boddy. Mr. Boddy is a black jelly polish, and it's filled with a rainbow of iridescent flakies, but primarily the colors that I used are orange, purple, and green. And then the other colors that you're seeing in there, because you're seeing, you know, some fuchsia and a little bit of blue, that's kind of like the flip on the iridescent flaky, where it has 2 to 3 colors, but the primary colors in here are orange, green, and purple. Because I wanted to give you that Halloween vibe, but still giving you a ton of colors. So there's lots and lots and lots of flakies packed into this polish. I'm going to swatch it for you at 2 coats. I guess you could do 3 if you wanted to. I find that it reaches opacity enough in 2. You could certainly top this over some other things too if you wanted to. If you wanted to lay down 1 coat of an opaque black, you could certainly do that as well, and that would give you a really, really black base to work with. So you could do a lot of things with this, but this is Mr. Boddy, and this is the Black Jelly Rainbow Iridescent Flaky Polish. And that's the final of the Get a Clue polishes. And they launch on September 13th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this collection actually has a part 2. It's going to be coming in October. After I created the polishes for the 6 original characters, Tim and I were talking and we thought, how fun would it be to do a collection of toppers that are all named after the weapons in the game. So you in theory could wear like Mr. Green with the knife or Mrs. White with the revolver. And so next month I'm going to be coming out with 6 shifty, fun toppers that you could wear over anything you want to, but you could also wear them over the polishes in this collection. Alright, so that's all the Get a Clue info. Next I want to swatch for you the Zombie Zest dupe. So this is not an exact dupe. This polish Zombie Zest from China Glaze launched over 10 years ago in a Halloween collection, and since then it has been kind of like a cult classic favorite. I did pick up a polish originally, but since then, you know, a lot more people have found nail polish and have seen this kind of eerie, swampy looking green jelly with a strong gold fleck around the internet and wanted to get it, but you can't really find it places unless you're wanting to pay a lot of money for it. So that's the basis of why this has been like a sought after duped item. So I decided to try my hand at it. I've made this swampy, eerie, green jelly base, and I've packed it full of fleck. But I decided to change it up just a little bit. So they do look very similar on the nail, and I will show you a picture here of how they look compared to each other. So you can see they're both on my hands. The China Glaze is on my 2nd and 3rd finger, and then the Moonshine Mani polish is on the 4th and 5th finger. I named this polish, by the way, Roses Are Red, Zombies Are Green. Actually, Tim named the polish. I started out with the same color base as this polish. When I hold my Zombie Zest, I get a little bit of a blue shift off of the polish. So I kind of ran with that, and I found a couple of different fleck options. I don't have the exact same fleck that they used in this polish once upon a time ago, but I have some similar things. So I have both a gold fleck and a green fleck in this polish. And then in between those components, I filled it with a denser, smaller fleck. It's a more delicate, more glowy fleck that actually shifts gold, green, blue, and that's why you're getting all that blue on the edges too. It's kind of like a tealy blue. It's not going over into blurple territory. So that is my take on a Zombie Zest dupe. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I do feel like it gives off the same vibe as the original with giving you a little extra oomph. And this is my twist on the Zombie Zest. So it's a really fun kind of ugly pretty shade. If you're familiar with that term, basically what that means is it's kind of an off color that you wouldn't think you'd love, but because it's so different, it makes it lovely. So this was really, really fun for me, you guys, and I've mentioned in the other places where we've talked about this on social media, if you have any dupes that you want made, this Project Dupe It going forward is going to grow. The first one I started with was in the Pacific. That is my response to the call for a dupe to be made for Pacific Blue. Sally Hansen's original formula Pacific Blue no longer exists on shelves in drugstores and other places. They changed the formula. So I made a dupe for that. It is very similar, and now this is my second go at it. If you have anything you want to see duped, you can leave it in the comments of this video. You can find the comments on duping things in my Moonshine Mani Facebook page, also on my Instagram posts that are dealing with dupes. So there are lots of places. Leave your feedback, and I am keeping track of everything you guys want as I tally up your responses and see what people want most. That's what's going to get made. So anyway, that is Roses Are Red, Zombies Are Green, and it's going to be launching on the same day as the Clue collection. I kind of just threw it in with this collection because it's Halloween themed, and my swatchers are just getting them. So you're going to be starting to see swatches of this polish on other nails besides mine very soon. So that's everything we have to talk about today, you guys. I appreciate your being here. I hope to see you back for another video very soon. Take care until then. Bye!